Um, Good afternoon. Good morning to some, wherever you may be. I hope you can hear me. I decided to put in some headphones because my kid's watching cartoons and just generally loud. I don't know. So I thought I'd come in here, have my brunch, and I just want to reflect on some things that I've learned on my week 1 quarantine. Now that I think of it, our actual county-wide quarantine was like last Friday or last Thursday. I mean, not this past Thursday, but like the one prior. So it's like a week and 2 days I'm making this video for. I've learned quite a bit just in this week 1 alone. And I'm sorry if you can hear me like gulping and slurping. I'm just a loud eater. It's disgusting. But I really wanted to just talk and eat brunch but I'm not going to eat on camera. There. Let me open this. So, I've been very Susie homemaker lately. You know, like homeschooling the kids, which in itself it's got its own set of issues. If you have always homeschooled your children, I give you so much respect, because the first couple days of homeschooling, my kids were like, is this a joke? And I was like, nope, it's not a joke. I was like, well, wake up, good morning, welcome to school, your school's in this kitchen. The littlest one wasn't having it. I had a really hard time with him. And my youngest is autistic, so he when I say he wasn't having it, he really was not having it. Because it messed up we had just come off from our official spring break, so he understands the schedule. But then to come back and be like, oh, we're gonna have school at home now, it was just not a concept that he could really grasp. But he does understand about the coronavirus, and he watches a lot of things on YouTube about it, so he is aware of it. So the more that he learns about it, he understands why he has to come to school in the house rather than go to his actual school. Issues with that the first 2 days. I mean, the teachers are trying to get a hang of it. We're trying to get a hang of it. Normally, all the stuff that they log onto when they do, because they pretty much do the same stuff at school on the computer, but we're doing it at home now.
What toast?
Okay, sweetheart, one second. So a lot of the things that they do at school on their computers, like in computer lab.
I want a toast.
Okay, I'll make you more toast. They give us they gave us some of the login information, but then we would go to just excuse my face, I'm sorry. We would go to a website that they wanted us to do the lesson on, and then they'd give us a login information. Login information doesn't work. And I'm like, okay. So I go and I text the teacher and I call and I ask, and sometimes I don't get a response, and I would get frustrated because we're losing time. Like, the work is due at the end of the week. He has 4 subjects to work on, so we have to be on a schedule every week to do every day to do his classwork, so we don't get behind. Your toast is toasting. It's toasting. So it's in there. So that's been very frustrating. And then in some of the other parts of his homework, I would get the right login information, and we would go through the lesson, and it would be reading to us and everything. And then we'd get to an interactive part, and you click on it, takes you to another website, and it wants login information for that. Don't have that login information. So that's what I've been dealing with. Oh, and then also the fact sometimes I do have the right login information, and I'll do it 7 times trying to put it in. And I know it's correct. It's correct because it's worked before, and that's what the teacher gave me. And they'll be wrong, wrong, wrong.
I want to draw.
You want to draw right now, baby? We'll draw. We'll make a picture. It'll be wrong, wrong, wrong. And then on the 7th time I'll enter it. Then it finally lets me in. the website to do the lesson. So it's like, it's literally trying to make me go crazy, or maybe that's how it is at school all the time and I just don't know it because I'm not there. So like, super frustrated. In desperation of trying to have social time a lot. And I'm sure you've noticed this. I'm not the only one who noticed. A lot of celebrities are doing live streams and interacting with their fans like crazy. A lot of regular people are doing live streams just to have social time. Last night, we ran quite a few errands yesterday, which was Saturday. One of my errands being I stopped at one of the local liquor stores and got myself like a 6-pack because my friend invited me to a party. But since we couldn't not technically go out and be together, we had a Zoom party, which is getting quite popular right now these days. And the cool thing about Zoom is that you can have, I don't know what the max is, but you can have quite a lot of people in like this video chat. So that was fun. We were on it for like a few hours last night. I ordered pizza. We're just kind of getting to know each other because I only knew the host and like, you know, she has all her other friends. So I was like getting to know all the other people that were in the chat. And we were just being silly and wearing hats and changing costumes and dancing and doing dumb stuff. You know what I mean? At one point, everyone who owned like a luchador mask, we put on our luchador mask and we were being just silly. If you're on my Instagram, I posted it today to my story so you could see the screenshot from our Zoom session. So that was fun and different. To stay sane, I've been doing more Smule karaoke. You know, I don't care. I mean, I will be weird with strangers on Smule karaoke. It's what I gotta do to stay sane in this crazy world. And that includes singing with masks and turning the filters on and having fun with that crap. Another thing. I do regret this now, and I'll just say this, and I'm sure I'll get slack for it. I have been wanting to do a victory garden in my yard. Finally, yesterday, had the money, had the time. I was like, I'll go really quick to Home Depot. I want to get some plants because I'm already kind of behind on planting stuff from seeds. Like I want to already buy something that's already flowering and pretty much it's growing. So I went to Home Depot to go buy my stuff for my vegetable garden and herbs. And surprisingly, Home Depot was so crowded. It was so crowded. I couldn't believe it. Oh, you want your butter now? Hold on. Let me put his butter. This is live, sorry. I'll put the butter. Bring me your plate. Thanks, buddy. So, here. I'll balance you on my fruit basket. Thank you, bub. So it was so packed. So I was like, you know, like thinking, do I get down? I really need these plants because if I put these plants, then I'll have vegetables in the summer and I won't have to go out as much. And this has been my dream for 10 years in my house. And I finally have the money. And I was like, fuck it. You know, like I went, dude, you would have thought it was any other Saturday, on any other day where this is not happening. There were so many people. So I was like literally trying to shop and like avoid people. And then they would come into my alley, like not the alley, like I guess yeah, the alley or the section where I was at. And I'd be like, ah, and I'd like get away. So, and then of course when we got up to the cash register, everyone's there. So I'm just kind of like, oh God, like, please sir, like just scan my shit and let me get in and get out. And it was really quick. Got in my car, threw everything in, took a bath and hand sanitizer, came home, took a shower, then went and we planted. Oh, here's your sandwich, buddy. We started planting some. I did have some seeds, so I started like doing little planters or starters, I mean, for some of the seeds. And then pretty much everything else is going to go in the ground. So today, one of our goals is to clear up like a section of my yard and make the rows so we can start planting what we want in the ground. Eventually do that, finish it today, hopefully maybe in the next few weeks, buy a fence to fence it in so the dogs don't trample it, and then move on to my little fire pit area and finish that and plant some more flowers in that area. So I do have some house plans. I'm still making masks this week, as I said in my video last night about the clearing the air about these homemade masks. What else? Oh yeah, one last thing. Going back to me being Susie Homemaker, I tried to make a loaf of bread yesterday. I had made a bunch. I was like so productive yesterday. It was crazy. Real work and just social wise, I was just like a productive little butterfly. But so I had started the dough in the morning. I had put it in the bowl to rise. Then I had to go take my husband to work and then go buy fabric for some more of these masks. So right before I took my husband to work, it was already time to take out the dough that had rose in the bowl, knead it, and then put it in the loaf pan to rise again. And the instructions said an hour, and I was like, well, I'll be gone a few hours, but it should be fine. No. I came back like 2.5 hours later. I opened my microwave, and the blob comes at me. I guess, and I didn't know that, but I know that now, if you leave the bread and the yeast in there to over rise, it will turn into the blob. And it was just kind of overflowing and pulsating out of the loaf pan onto the tray in the microwave. So like when it spilled over, like that's all the bread coming out. So I like scooped it out and I threw away all the dough that was on the microwave plate. And I was just kind of like fixing the one on top. So when I finally baked my bread, it was like a short little stumpy piece of bread. It wasn't like a full sandwich loaf full of bread because I threw away a bunch of the dough because it had overflowed from the pan. So I learned that yesterday. What's another thing that I've learned this week? Oh yeah, egg scarcity. There has been an egg scarcity. I think it's getting better. Except for particularly at the time when I needed eggs, it was already like past the afternoon. So like I'm learning if I don't go early to like Walmart, I don't get eggs. So that one of these days last week, I bought duck eggs from a friend of mine who has a duck that lays eggs. She has like kind of a small homestead farm, personal farm where she on her property. So she sold me some duck eggs, which I have been using just for baking purposes. Then I went to Jason's Deli because a lot of restaurants have been selling produce and stuff. And I bought 30 eggs for like $10. Completely overpriced, but whatever. I didn't have to stand in line and breathe in everybody's freaking coronavirus. So, excuse me. The other day, my husband went to Walmart in the morning and he said he got the last, because we go through eggs like super quick. Like that 30 count eggs that lasted us like 2 days because we eat a lot of eggs. So he got like a 60 count box for like, what did he say? $7? I know I overspent at the Jason's Deli, but like I said, I didn't have to wait in line for hours or whatever. So I figure I do what I got to do sometimes. If that means spending a little more money, I do it. But I learned my mistake on making my bread this week and all that. I can't wait to see what life teaches me this week. But anyways, all right, guys, thanks. Bye. Just wanted to update you on that.